What's going on, YouTube? We're back with the 91 Ford Ranger, and today we're rebuilding a Dana 35 front axle. Showed up, hired help. So, unfortunately, today I already made a video about taking this apart, but my phone decided to delete everything in the nice 10-minute video that I had about how to take one of these apart. So I put the other side back together to take it apart for you. So tell me I never did anything for you, okay? Ready? Watch this. So, note that there's no brake pads in here, because again, I just slapped this back together to take it apart. Let's dig into this. It's pretty straightforward. Now, the reason I'm taking this apart is because I needed to change these U-joints in here. Note they're already changed, but we'll pop this apart and show you how it comes apart. It's super easy. It's pretty solid. Okay, so you're gonna punch these two little clips out of here. That's what holds your caliper on a 80s to 92 model. Ouch. I think 93 and up, they went to ABS sensor, and there's two bolts back there anyways. Early models, just two pins. One. Oh. There's two. And your caliper comes right off. Good. We got the missus film in here, so I get to work with two hands today. So here's your lock and hub. That comes off as an assembly. No loose parts or nothing. Something you're going to want to watch out for. When I got this truck, this wheel bearing was loose, and I took this apart, and this jam nut had actually backed off and piled up against this washer here and gacked all these threads. I'll pop this apart and show you what I mean. So first step to taking this apart, here's a little clip here. You're gonna push that off. The little clip looks like that. And then there's a washer that's spline behind it. Two jam nuts, a washer, and then a second jam nut. Then that sits against your hub assembly, which is right here. That's all for the passenger side. Okay, so once your little clip's off and you drop it on the floor and found it again, you're going to pull off your splined washer, and I'll show you what I was talking about. Washer comes off. Now you can lay all your parts out. Look at the war wound on the back of this washer here. That's your first sign that something went wrong. When I take this nut off, you'll see the rest. So this actually spun itself off and rode right here and spun and gacked all these threads and burnt them. You can see I had to do some frontal lobe brain surgery here on these threads with a Dremel. She was a late night fix, but got it back together. And then, oh, mosquito was nailing my finger. So yeah, we had to sacrifice some threads on here and on this piece, but everything threads back together because I don't know where you can buy a new cone for this. I don't want to know what one's worth either. So you have your clip, your spline washer, your first jam nut. There's a locating washer here that just has a groove in it, slides into this tongue there. And your second jam nut. Now, if you're putting this together and you lost track of what the thickest jam nut goes against your hub assembly pushing on your bearing, the thin one holds the preload on it. Okay, now your hub assembly slides off. Pull your bearing out of there. Come on, Sammy. There you go. Bearing number one. And the whole assembly just slides right off of there. Okay, now you can see I've already had this apart, but when I went to go take this apart this morning, these were just balls of rust, and I was lucky and was able to get them all out without breaking anything. Let me pop this off, and I'll show you how to slide this axle out. Let's go. Now you can see that these things have been through hell and back. These are supposed to be 9/16 nuts, and I just used a 14mm socket to pull them off of there. That's how much material has been deleted off of them. Yeah, so now you're going to grab a rubber mallet. You're going to give this a couple whacks in a few different directions. Protect your threads, so use rubber. Don't go with the brass or anything crazy. Don't need to knock it out of the park. Originally, when I looked at this job, I thought I had to pull the top ball joint, the lower ball joint, and this tie rod end, slide this knuckle off in order to get this axle out. I was really happy when I found out you could just do this. I'm going to put that someplace safe. Right there. A little dust seal. And your axle literally just slides right out. Now, oh, look at that for gear oil. That needs to be changed. So it's already got a brand new U-joint in it. I already had this part this morning, but I wanted everyone to know, in case you're stuck, how to pull one of these apart. Now, fortunately for me, this U-joint over here is still in good shape, so I don't have to change this one. So that leaves just one more U-joint to change, and I can slide that side back together. Unfortunately, I can't put this fully back together yet because I ordered new hubs, and the new hubs didn't come with bearings or seals. Look at this. So here's my new hubs. It comes with the outer race and the outer race only. No bearings or no seal on the backside. What am I supposed to do with that? That's no good. Now, let's get this last U-joint put together. Very important when you're changing U-joints with internal clips. Definitely want to clean up the inside of your ears, because if you don't do that, well, then you're going to be pulling the old bench grinder on your clip, and she's going to be paper thin and not hold anything. Then you're into trouble. So this is our outer shaft, and as you can see here, I got my clip put in. So I drove in past. You put your clip in, and then you're going to drive this one back to seat your clip and put this clip in. So we got this one drove in, drive it back. Now you put your clip in. Watch your eyes. Okay, very important step. See how tight that U-joint is? Take your U-joint, give it a whack right there on the end of the lobe. Now, it releases all the pressure you just put on that U-joint. Like bounce off the workbench. It's like rubber. That's got to be from 1991. Yuck. So pop your cap off, one cap at a time. Let's put this in the vise. And we can hold that there. I usually start with the outside, find it a little bit easier. Don't put any dirt on your U-joint. Slide your cap on. Don't lose any pins. Cap should slide right on there. There we go. Okay. And they're honestly pretty nice going in. Of course, I had to say that. Okay, put your clip on. Spin your shaft around. I like to pull the U-joint in halfway, make sure I don't lose a pin. Pull it out a little bit, get your cap on there, slide that in. Just make sure you stay lined up. There you go, just like that. And you give it your 2 whacks I just showed you. Everything's nice and loose, feels smooth. Perfect, slide that back in the truck. Get your axle slid in there. Now you grab your rear yoke here. Hang on, I'll bring the hoist up for a second. Okay, so now that I have this right in my face and I can see, we got our spines greased up in here. And just like that, we're reinstalled. Okay, so because I'm waiting for my wheel bearings, I am going to just put my spindle back on. I'm going to pack this full of grease. And yeah, we're going to then change the brake caliper because the caliper on this side, she's not really cooperating very well. And she's burning the pads off the old girl. So you don't want that. You know, when you're driving down the road and you're trying to keep her in a straight line, it's just not working for you. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now. Not fun. A little sneak peek at our remade cab mount there. Came out all right. Okay, we got our bearing pack full of grease. We got our groove facing the top because that's the way we took it apart. And that slides right on there. We greased up our threads so that way future me doesn't have to break these off and curse and swear. This side is still a 9/16, so it's obviously seen considerably less salt than the driver's side. We're going to put that together. And we got a brand new U-joint chilling back there. Looking good. Looking real nice and good. Okay, well, if you put this back together and you got gear oil leaking everywhere, chances are you did what I did and you knocked that seal out that's supposed to sit right in there. So this is how you put it back in. At least this is how I'm doing it. Clean it up, put it on your shaft right before it's supposed to seal, and you're going to slide that in and it should seat itself in the diff as you push it in. That's what we're doing. Okay, that should slide right in. Ow. That actually does not work for the shit. So get your girlfriend with really small hands. Yeah. To go in there and do it for you. Who needs to make a tool when you got those puppies around? Look at those. It's like gold. No chance of that ever happening. Oh, maybe, but I might have a permanent bracelet on there. Look at this. Boop. Right in there. I'll just backseat drive here while I hold the camera. Nice! Look at that. Boom. Bob's your uncle. Nice job, babe. High five. Hands do a lot more than just make sandwiches. So we got our caliper mocked up. We got our line cracked off the back. We have our hubs temporarily put on there. New U-joints installed. Unfortunately, these hubs seem to be different. That bearing in there is smaller than the original bearing, so we'll see what happens when I get the new ones. I might be reusing these hubs. We'll see. They're still within spec for safety, so it should be fine. Let's get this caliper off here now and swap her out. Maybe we'll leave that on there until I get this pin out, and then we'll unbolt the caliper. I'm cheating a bit here so we don't have to bleed it too much. Okay, you can come off of there. Don't make a mess. There. Bolt. Making a mess. Making a mess. Making a mess. Okay, crush washer. How dirty is that? Clean it up for me. Crush washer there. New caliper. There we go. Put that in place. Does it fit? Yep, it does. Good. Put that down. Boom. One more over here. Talk about an easy brake setup, eh? That's awesome. Get your cheater line off of there. That's really good for your flex lines, by the way. They love that. Yeah, just pump the brake pedal. Yep. Keep pumping. Holding. Okay. Pump. Holding. Okay. Release brake fluid. Folks, we're waiting on new wheel bearings to put in, so that way there we can swap those out with fresh guys and button up that front end. That's good to go. Next video, we're going to be going through the rear end and doing rear brakes. But before we do that, we got to fix the pinion bearing because that pinion is moving back and forth with lots of play in there. We'll go through that. Yeah, thanks for watching.